So you really up here talking about how your position in life financially is the reason why you're not successful. You a bum. Come on, bro. No matter how rich or poor you are, that system doesn't exist. I'm not gonna lie. That system does not exist, bro. And I'm gonna tell you why, bro. I'm somebody who wasn't born in Africa, but came from an African family. We were in poverty, right? We were in poverty, gang. Some of y'all are in poverty, right? We all in poverty. Like we in poverty, gang. Bro, we had food stamps, man, everything you can think of, bro. Everything you can think of. You feel me? Until there was a day where they had randomly just told us, yo, y'all make too much money, which was a very clerical error because we were all working the same jobs and everything. So no one got any more amount of money. We didn't know what EBT was talking about. But still, they boomed us though. They said, yo, you're not getting money for food no more. We thought it was the end of the freaking world, right? Because we in this poverty mindset, thinking that we don't like rich and poor is based on how you live. If you live like a person that has money, then all the energy is gonna manifest to you, bro. I promise, gang. Rich and poor doesn't exist. It's a mindset, I swear. So look, so we was poor, right? So boom. What happened was 2 to 3 months later, bro. 2 to 3 months later, not one person has complained about a single bill in this house. Not not one single person has complained about anything financially when we're supposed to be in a worse position. I was even working a job that paid less than my last job. I still was doing fine. I was still, what was weird was I was getting more money with that job versus my other job that was paying extraordinarily more money. So societally, you would be like, yo, you should be saving more money because you're working a higher paying job. No, gang. I was saving more money working the lower job because first, it was less stress on me. And then two, all of our lifestyles changed, gang. I started eating healthier. I started be I started eating healthier. I started changing my life. And so did my family. Because we started spending more time with each other, being a happy family and us growing together. Until I brought up one day, hey, you remember when they canceled EBT? They're like, yeah, man, we've been doing just fine and we work in the same job. All we did was just change our habits. Like the only thing I did was I started splurging on stuff that I actually needed versus what I wanted. So I started splurging on fruit. And like what was crazy was the bills was the expenses for my groceries was higher. Right? Like I'm like, yo, I'm spending mad money, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm losing bread. I look at my account, I had 2 times the bread I had. I'm like, bro, how was that possible? And it's really because I started living like the rich man that I wanted to be. Only spending money on needs, even though I was splurging like crazy on it. Like I would buy like 3 bags of grapes, 2 bags of apples, packages of uncooked chicken breasts. Like I was going crazy. Like anybody who's been in a gym journey knows that groceries are very expensive. And I was doing that every week. $50 to $80 every week. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of money to add up, man. So you would think that we wouldn't survive. Whole time we're doing better than when we were being supported by EBT. And that spoke volumes to me. That really made me feel like being rich and being poor is really a mindset thing. A state of being doesn't exist. That's what I feel like. Because as soon as we changed our mindset into the people that, that'd be like, oh, let's get 1 bag of grapes. Let's not be too hasty with our money. Man, I was in Food Line going crazy, bro. I was going crazy in that, bro. I was going crazy in the food lines. But I was still making more money. And I was working a less paying job. I didn't understand, bro, until I realized that, bro, it is literally a mindset thing, bro. Because I was buying stuff to support my higher self, support my better self, my richer self, instead of being this person that's gonna be like, oh, oh man, let me save up for next payday and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I get why people think like that, but Bro, manifestation's real, bro. If if your mindset is like a poor person, because that's why there's people that make 100K every year, but still always have $0 at the end of the year because they're living like a poor person. They're poor. It doesn't matter how much money they make, they're still poor in the head. But then you got people who don't even buy Jordans, who don't buy designer, none of that. And you feel me? They even drive a cheap car and they're rich. They're rich. You feel me? Because they're like, there's a reason for everything, bro. Designer niggas are broke. All right. Niggas that don't wear design. I assume every nigga that don't wear designer has some sort of financial handle, bro. That's what I assume, right? But I think that somebody who's drip up and down to designer has poor spending habits. You feel me? I think they're poor not because of what they have currently. I think they're poor because their mindset and habits. As you can see, they have to wear their money. Versus somebody who doesn't have to wear their money, that's a wealthy habit. So in the mind, you are wealthy. But also in the mind, when you're wearing on this designer, you're poor to me. It don't matter how much money in your bank account, you're poor because you have to show your money. You're either poor or you're not as rich as you want to be, right? And that's what I'm saying, bro. It is really a mindset, bro. How rich and how poor you are depends on your mindset. It doesn't depend on how much money you have, how much money you make. You feel me? That's why all these higher paying niggas are so sad, right? They're so sad. They're going on, they're going on all sorts of trips, splurging their money on, hold on, they're splurging their money on stuff that doesn't even benefit them. Like they don't even go like meet new people, talk to friends. They just take the same pictures and come back home. And it's like, bro, at least go talk to somebody out there to learn another opportunity, bro. But no, they just want to flex on people that, once again, in my last video, don't care about you after you pass, gang. They want to impress you. You'll be, bro. How easy people forget about you after your pass. You won't even be able. You wouldn't want to impress them no more. You know what I'm saying? Guess who's gonna cry? Your fam. Impress your fam, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, bro, my growth with my family and my mindset growing and me living like the person I want to be actually made me more money. It had nothing to do with anything physical or financial because I had a lesser paying job before EBT. Oh, my bad. I had a higher paying job before EBT. Once they took EBT and I was working a lower job, I thought we was done. We all thought we was done. But guess what though? We switched our mindsets. And that's what made us start making more money and not complain about one single bill. Not one. Not one. We always knew we had it. Because we got God on our side. We always knew we had it. Like, I don't even stress when niggas ask me for bread. That don't mean ask me for bread, nigga. But I just be like, hey, here you go, man. Hey, I'll pay you back. You feel me? Like, it's cool because I know if it's supportive of what I need instead of what I want, then God's gonna give me back tenfold. You know what I'm saying? That's how I always think. So when I splurge on money, I make sure it's about my purpose. So I'm like, hey man, if there's this new healthy item on the menu that's $1,000, and you feel me, I'll get it if it genuinely gives me better health benefits, bro. You feel me? If collabing with a YouTuber, he like, all right, I charge 10K. Then I'm paying that 10K, bro. It's about my purpose of wanting to be a YouTuber, right? So yeah, man, like, but when it's like buy these pair of shoes and all that, I'm like, nah. Because I have a saying for everything. I have a saying for the system. I call it, for my needs, I'm rich. For my wants, I'm poor. I'm broke. I don't buy anything that pertains to wants. You feel me? I buy everything that pertains to needs though, because it's like boom, 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 boom. And God has paid me back every single time. I have double the money I made with a crazy paying job, bro. But that I left that job because I realized it's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about the time. It's about the time that you have. So working 40 hours, devoting your time to something that doesn't suit a purpose, gang, is a waste of time. But if you work part-time at said job and develop some time into a craft that feeds your purpose, That's better because the money is always gonna come after that, bro. You just gotta work for it. And niggas don't want to work no more. That's all it is. Niggas don't want to work no more. You don't want to work anymore. You want to work that 40-hour job, right? But you don't want to work part-time at that job and then do your craft. And that's why you ain't never gonna be as happy as you want. It's your own fault. Don't come up here crying on the internet about nothing, bro. You are a hoe and you know it. All right. So I'm just saying, if you really want to make it in this life, chase purpose. Don't chase any money. Chase your purpose, bro. Because the money gonna come after that. Everything good gonna come to you, bro. I promise you. All the stuff you don't need, don't do. Don't indulge in it. All the stuff that you need, indulge in it 100% because it's gonna pay you back. That's the theme of this video. Rich and poor is fake. Rich and poor is fake. Rich and poor is a mindset thing, not a pocket thing, not a physical thing. So if you're broke, you probably wear a lot of designer. If you're rich, you know how to manage your money. That's what rich and poor is. Not a chain, nigga. You broke nigga. So yeah, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Wavy Dave, man. You feel me? Whether you rich or poor in the head, man, just learn about yourself, man. Cause whole time, man, until you watch this video, you probably ain't even know you're rich, man. You rich in the head, man. Which means you're rich on the outside. And as long as you keep living like that, you're gonna be rich in the physical. When you own the spiritual, you own the physical. Like this. Let's do it, man.